A blanket of fog sits on top of the water as the sun slowly creeps over the horizon. The dew, still fresh on the grass, saturates your pant legs as you make your way to the water's edge. You look over the water as you become intoxicated by the sound of reed insects and frogs. You make a cast, sending your lure across the lake as it crashes down, disturbing the harmony of nature. You engage the reel and retrieve the lure across the surface of the water as the bait sends out its own rhythmic chug. You focus on the lure as everything becomes silent besides the sound of your reel and the chug of the bait. And then suddenly, without warning, a largemouth bass explodes into the surface world to attack your lure. You feel the weight of the fish as you set the hook, feeling every head shake and leaping bound the beast makes out of the water. Our journey begins sometime in the 1960s, when prop baits were in their infancy. A man by the name of Hack Wilson is credited for developing the first buzzbait that hit the national market in 1976. He would build what would be known as the Harkins Lunker lure in his garage for 15 years before eventually selling his patent to Jim Aaron and Bill Harkins, who began marketing the lure. Its simple design with a hook, a long wire bent to a specific shape, a weighted head and prop is still one of the best options for topwater fishing today. The lure is designed to replicate a dying fish on the water's surface while sending out sounds, visuals, and vibrations that are tantalizing to predatory fish. While the bait is simple, it keys in on a bass's natural instinct to attack. The buzzer is set in place by a rivet and still ball. When these points make contact, they make a squeaking sound that can be heard above and under the water, attracting bass. The size of the wire the bait is built on is just as important as the prop on the bait. The squeak creates a vibration along the wire and sends out a vibrational tone determined by the gauge of the wire that a bass can pick up with its lateral line. So make sure to try multiple sizes on your waters. The prop can come in a variety of sizes and shapes. The bend in the flaps determine which way the prop will rotate, and anglers have also been known to drill extra holes in the paddles to create a stronger bubble trail. Add-ons like a clacker and even extra props are also known to be highly effective. You will want a heavy power rod and no less than a medium power rod in the 7-foot range for the best buzzbait experience. Bait casting reels lined with mono or braid is the better option for working the lure. You will need to engage the lure before contacting the water to ensure the bait planes and is working upon landing. The buzzbait doesn't float, so anytime it sits, it will sink. The buzzbait is perfect for burning over weed beds, running along the edges of lily pads, and running it over submerged structure. And if the prop is not running true with the body, you will need to tune the bait by bending the prop wire to the left or right, depending which way the lure is running. There are many designs and styles to the buzzbait, and each one is effective in its own scenario. So make sure to try multiple styles before you give up on this lure.
Oh my god, gang, get the net.
If the buzzbait is the king of the prop baits, then the Whopper plopper is the knight in shining armor. A Whopper plopper is basically a hard plastic spook style body with a rotating propeller section on the rear. Let's go back to sometime around 2008 when Larry Dahlberg collaborated with Simon Chan from River to Sea to create what would become one of the most electrifying lures in the industry. Larry, a Wisconsin native, was interested in pike and muskie lures at the time, when he wanted a different sonic profile than the typical buzzbait or other prop baits like the devil horse. He wanted to have the bait to have a plop sound like the sound of a bird skipping across the water before flight. The first prototype was carved from a broom handle and a cupped rubber tail attached by a wire that would eventually become the Whopper Plopper 190. Through research development, they found aggressive muskie and pike had a hard time resisting it, and so did largemouth bass. So they decided to develop a smaller size that was more appealing to bass fishermen. Since then, many bait makers have copied or have been inspired by the river-to-sea Whopper Plopper. Brands like Berkeley with their Chapo and Guggen with the Revolver, another unique prop bait that features a prop on the center of the lure. You can also find variations like the flat-side plopper. This lure takes a lot from the Whopper Plopper, but has its own unique features like the no-roll flat-side feature. Another key feature is the prop. On a traditional plopper, there is an oversized paddle to create that iconic plop sound Larry and Simon were after. The flat side has a smaller cup, giving it a quieter plop, and it also features a hole to create a stronger bubble trill, which is key in this lure's success. The Whopper Plopper, or any of its predecessors, doesn't have a one best way. The bait can be retrieved in different speeds, from working it like a popper to burning it across the surface like a buzzbait. It works in creeks, rivers, and lakes with choppy, moving, or calm water. The bait works well in open water and can manage in some low vegetation places, but the treble hooks do tend to grab the grass, unlike its king, the buzzbait. The bait has lost some popularity with lake anglers, but still stands strong amongst river and creek anglers who target smallmouth bass. The smallmouth, a more aggressive version of largemouth bass, seems to have a strong attraction for the sound, profile, and action of the Whopper Plopper style lures.
Oh my god, gang, get the net. Get the net.
Get out here, look what I'm doing.
Get the net.
Bring it here. God dang, he got me in the log. He's got me in the log. Crap.
Can we get over there and get him?
Got it.
The plopper and its myriad of baits it has inspired make for some of the most electrifying, over-the-top power fishing around.
There we go. There we go. That's a toad.
Whether it's lake monsters it summons up or the explosive hits it conjures, it's hard to have a bad day's fishing with a Whopper Plopper tied on.
Look at that, boys. The Placino Plopper got the donkey. Woo!
Whopper Ploppers are very user-friendly. Novice of any level can take these out and have a great time and find success. All you gotta do is simply cast and retrieve and have a good time. Enjoy yourself on the water with a Whopper Plopper. For the last lure on the list, we travel to the land of the rising sun. Home of the tying world record largemouth bass, Japan is considered a leader in tackle innovation. This could be due to the country's complex and pressured fisheries. One of those innovations is the Lux Avenge Prop 80 and 90. This lure has a small fish-shaped body that's flat on both sides and features a dual prop on the back end. This particular model is fashioned with short shank treble hooks and a custom paint job from 12 Oak Custom Lures out of Missouri.
Look at that. Look at that school of smallmouth following this guy.
The Avenge is one of the best takes on the propeller class of modern times.
No, come here.
The dual props in the back make this bait run true, and it is a proven trophy fish catcher. The props fold against the body, giving the lure a tighter profile when casting, creating a more aerodynamic shape, producing more distance and improved accuracy.
Here we go. Oh, I should come right on out there for it. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. See him try to swim up underneath that rock? That's exactly where he was headed. Just underneath that rock. Get in here. There we go, guys. Watched him come off the ledge and at that plopper, and then he tried to swim my bait up underneath the rock wall here in front of me. All right, guys, let's get him out of here.
With the lure being another floating prop, the same techniques used on the Whopper plopper will work on the Avenge. The allure is available in different sizes, with the 80 be a great option for creeks and the larger 90 size being a perfect match for the lakes and rivers. The short shank hooks are designed to help the bait go over submerged vegetation, giving the lure a slight edge over the Whopper plopper's long shank hooks for versatility on the water. The smaller profile of the Avenge prop makes this lure a perfect option for smallmouth bass, while still being effective for largemouth and other aggressive predatory fish. The dual props give this lure superior control in moving waters and is an excellent choice for casting across the current seam to get a reaction strike from those feeding bass in the seam.
There, guys, that really is a good one. That's probably
A spin cast or bait casting setup will work for this lure. You will want braided line for better response when setting the hook for a more consistent hookup. So if you're looking for something different than what's on the big box shelf, look no further than the JDM line of baits, and make sure to shop one of your local tackle shops for custom painted Avenge props. Here's one more tip before we go. Topwater conditions are best in low light, early morning, late evening, or during the calm before a storm. The water temperature should be at least 60 degrees Fahrenheit, but ideally around 7 degrees Fahrenheit. Look to start using topwater lures right after the spawn, leading up into the fall time. This has been Puddle Walkers Outdoors. Thank you for watching.